Welcome, students. Hi, I'm Jessica Martinez, and I will be speaking to you today about a topic that we can all relate to on stress. So before we get started, just a little bit about me. I am a licensed clinical social worker, and I work for DHR Health. I am currently providing outpatient services at the ECISD School-Based Health Center. So what I do is I talk to people who have different types of mental health issues, such as depression or anxiety. Maybe if they're feeling a little stressed or having some problems at school or at home, they can come in and talk to me so that they can relieve some of those problems. And that's what I do. So I'm at the ECISD School-Based Health Center, and I was invited here today to talk to you all about the topic of stress. So I believe this is something we can all relate to on many levels, right? So are you stressed? I know sometimes I am, and I'm sure you can relate, but you have to think about what stresses you out, and what do you do to handle your stress? So these are some of the things that I will be covering with you today. So just to begin, think about, do you ever find yourself feeling a little bit frazzled or a little overwhelmed? If you do, then it's time to kind of step back and get yourself back into balance, okay? So let's talk about what stress is. It's pretty much the way that your body reacts to what's going on around you. So it's your body's automatic response to any physical or mental demand that is placed on it. And so when we're stressed, what happens is our body releases adrenaline. So this is produced as a stress response, right? So when this adrenaline is released, then we automatically go into what is called fight or flight. So we're thinking we're in danger, and so we react. And the way we react is by wanting to run away from the danger because we don't want to get in trouble, or we don't want to, we don't want anything bad to happen to us, right? So we run away and we flee. Or we can stay and fight. We can fight whatever is happening and protect ourselves. So it's the automatic defense mechanism to protect us from what's going on around us. We call that fight or flight. So that is what happens when we're under stress. So how do you know if you're stressed? Like, what happens to you, right? What happens to your mind, or what happens to your body? What happens to the way you behave when you're feeling stressed? There are some symptoms that you should be aware of so that you know, hey, I need to do something. I'm getting very stressed. So there are different things to look at. There are some cognitive symptoms that we can think about just in case, well, maybe this is a sign that I'm stressed. So cognitive symptoms of stress would be maybe being forgetful, some memory problems like, oh, I forgot to do my assignment, it's due today. Or maybe not able to concentrate when you're trying to complete your assignments, especially with the way school was done this year, online virtual school. It was really hard for a lot of kids to concentrate because it's online and something different, something we're not used to. If you're constantly worrying about things, that's another cognitive symptom of stress. Or if you really have a lot of thoughts on your mind all at once, this is something that may be causing, a symptom of stress. And then we have emotional symptoms of stress. Maybe you're feeling really down, kind of sad, or overwhelmed because you have too many things that you have to do and you think you have to do them all at once. Then you can be experiencing emotional stress. Another very common symptom, and I see this a lot in my own kids, is irritability, very short-tempered. You get kind of like upset easily. That could be a symptom of an emotional symptom of stress. Or just not able to relax. You can't really sit still and feel calm and comfortable. Maybe you're always on edge. So those are some emotional symptoms. Physical symptoms of stress would be chest pains, elevated heart rate, maybe feeling nauseous or dizzy, or getting headaches, shoulder tension, a lot of stomach aches. This is the way the body responds to stress physically. And then behavioral symptoms. You may notice an increased appetite or a decreased appetite. You might not be sleeping well. You may have difficulty falling asleep. Or the opposite, you might be sleeping a lot all day. And one of the things we really are having to look at and be careful with is excessive use of drugs or alcohol. So sometimes that's how people cope with stress. It's not healthy, but it's something that does happen. So those are things to look at so that you know if you are under a lot of stress. So is all stress bad? Well, not necessarily. So moderate levels of stress actually can help you. It can help you to perform better. If you're under stress because you have a deadline and a project is due, then it helps you to thrive and be successful and finish that, project by the deadline. But if you don't have enough stress in your life, it could result in boredom. Like, oh, there's nothing to do. I'm just here at home. It's summer. I'm so bored, So it could be, it could result in boredom. But too much stress can actually cause unproductive anxiety levels. So we don't want that stress level to get too high to where you become extremely anxious, because there we have our cognitive, our emotional, behavioral, and physical symptoms that may interfere in your functioning. So you do have to be aware of your stressors. It's important to know what causes my stress. What do I need to look at that's going on in my life that's triggering me to feel stressed out? It could be school. It could be too much homework. It could be those AP classes. It could be dual enrollment. It could be work if you have a part-time job, or it could be family. Sometimes there's issues going on at home. It could be relationships. If you have, a boyfriend or girlfriend, sometimes legal issues, get in trouble with the law. Finances. I know sometimes people stress about not having enough at home, and they worry about that. It could be your health or the health of your loved ones, an illness, your living situation, and your environment. So these are all things that we might identify as stressors. So the big question is, how do we manage our stress, right? This is what we all want to know. What do I do if I am stressed? How can I handle it? How can I be less stressed and be healthier? Because you don't want to get sick, right? That's what can happen with stress. You might experience physical effects of stress. You might lose weight, or you might gain weight. You might lose your hair. That's a really common symptom, the hair loss. You might experience chest pains and heart palpitations. It could lead to high blood pressure. So those are just the physical, effects. The emotional effects is it could cause depression. It could lead to anxiety. It could lead to those unhealthy coping strategies, or those like drugs and alcohol. We don't want that. So it is important that we manage our stress. So what can we do? So I will review a couple of strategies that might be really helpful for you all so that you can learn to manage your stress. So one of the first techniques that we'll discuss is the body relaxation exercises. So what can you do to relax your body? So we talked about the fight or flight response, right? When that is activated, our body feels very tense, very shaky. The heart rate is increasing. We feel like we can't breathe. So this is triggering anxiety. So in order to reduce this response, there are some exercises you can practice. One of those is belly breathing, and we'll cover a little bit more of that later. But belly breathing is something that you can do to lower your heart rate. Relaxed breathing is what it's also called, so that you can relax your body and lower that heart rate so that you can feel more calm. So breathing is very important if you know how to breathe correctly. Guided imagery is another body relaxation technique that you can practice. So guided imagery is a form of relaxation that can create harmony between your mind and your body. So it's a way of focusing your imagination to create these calm, peaceful images in your mind. So what you do is you just close your eyes and you imagine yourself in your nice, relaxing place. I like to use my 5 senses when I practice guided imagery. So you close your eyes and you imagine you're somewhere else. You think of a place that you like, a place that brings you peace. Sometimes I like to pretend I'm at the beach, right? So I close my eyes and I try to envision myself at the beach by using my 5 senses. What do I see when I'm at the beach? Do I see the waves in the ocean? Do I see the sand? Do I see the seagulls? What do I hear? I can hear the seagulls. I can hear the waves crashing. What do I smell? I smell the ocean. I smell the suntan lotion. What can I touch? I can feel the sand in my toes and the warmth of the sun. And what can I taste? Maybe I'm drinking a nice cold glass of lemonade. So by using your 5 senses, you can imagine yourself somewhere else. You escape to a different environment where you feel calm and at peace. So that's guided imagery. And then mindfulness is another body relaxation technique. So mindfulness it's your ability to put yourself in the present moment, in the here and now. So in order to do that, what you do is you focus on where you're at. It's very easy for our mind to wander to the past or to the future. It's very difficult to stay focused on the present. And so that's what mindfulness does. We need to pay attention to what is going on right here, right now. So being mindful means just noticing what is happening in the moment. Look around. What do you see? Again, use your 5 senses. Where are you? Where are you sitting? How does the chair feel under you? How does the floor feel at your feet? What do you notice in the room around you? So being mindful of what is happening to you in this very moment, in the here and now. So that's mindfulness. So those are a couple of ways that we can relax our body and relax our mind when feeling stressed. And another good technique to be able to reduce our stress is physical exercise. I know, nobody likes to exercise. I'm guilty. But physical exercise is actually a really good way to relieve stress. So, according to Hippocrates, walking is man's best medicine. So, exercise does reduce the overall activation of your amygdala and your sympathetic nervous system. So, these are the parts of your brain and your body that generate your stress response. So, research shows, if you do any type of aerobic exercise like walking, cycling, or jogging, it provides the same benefits as non-aerobic exercise such as yoga or Pilates. So if you're like me and you don't like cardio, that's okay. You can do something very nice and peaceful, less strenuous. I really enjoy yoga and Pilates. Those are my favorite exercises. And you only need 21 minutes. I know, not 20, but 21. 21 minutes, 3 times a week. So pick 3 days out of your week, set a timer for 21 minutes, and start your exercise routine, and that will really help you reduce your stress. So let's see. You can also do other activities such as walking. Go down your neighborhood. You can walk for 20 minutes, 21 minutes in your neighborhood. You can run, you can swim, you can dance. Anything that that you like to do that's some sort of physical activity to get that heart rate going. And you can try exercising mindfully. So that means focusing your attention on the physical sensations that you experience while you are doing the exercise. So you can incorporate mindfulness with your exercise routine. So another technique for stress relief is gratitude. Practicing gratitude is something that you can reap many benefits from. So gratitude can reduce your stress and anxiety. It can also boost your mood and strengthen your immune system, believe it or not. And practicing gratitude can improve your sleep. So you're probably wondering, well, what is gratitude? How does one practice gratitude, right? Basically, what you do is you reflect on your day and think about everything that's going well in your life and what you're grateful for. You can keep a gratitude journal, and maybe you can do this in the evenings right before bed and just reflect on what was good about my day today. What am I grateful for? And just write down in your journal the good things that happened. Today I got to talk to my friend. We spent time together. I'm grateful that I have her in my life. Today I went to visit my grandmother, and she was really happy that I went to see her. And it was great to see my grandmother so happy. I hadn't seen her for a whole year because of COVID. So I'm grateful to still have my grandmother in my life. Something very simple like that. So just writing down the things that you're grateful for, the things that you're happy to have in your life, that you're blessed to have, reflecting on these positive things can really help you to feel better, to improve your mood, and to reduce that stress. So keep a gratitude journal or a gratitude log, decorate it, the way you want, and practice writing in it daily, in the evenings or in the morning, whichever you prefer. Gratitude goes a long way. So there's a quote that I like. It says, "Enjoy the little things, for one day you may look back and realize they were the big things." It's by Robert Brault. So my day begins and ends with gratitude. So connecting to others is another way to reduce stress. So you're probably wondering, well, how does one connect with others? So connecting with others means human interaction. And I know that it was very difficult for us during COVID and the pandemic and quarantine because we didn't have that human interaction. We weren't able to see our friends or our family members. We weren't able to be face to face, and that really affected a lot of people. I know because when I met with my clients in my office, that was something that greatly affected them, that loss of human interaction. We are humans and we need that interaction. Brene Brown has a quote that I like. It says, "Connection is why we're here. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives. And without it, there is suffering." So talking face to face with another human can trigger hormones that relieve stress when you're feeling agitated or insecure. So an exchange of kind words or a friendly look from another human being can actually help calm and soothe your nervous system. So spend some time with the people who improve your mood. Look for positive people. Don't let your responsibilities keep you away from having a social life. Social interaction is so necessary. We need that. We are humans that need interaction. So if you don't have close relationships or your relationships are the source of your stress, then try to cut those relationships off, okay? Don't continue toxic relationships because they will only add to your stress. So try to build stronger and satisfying connections with those who are meaningful in your life. A couple of tips to connecting to others include reaching out to a colleague at work or helping someone by volunteering. Go out and volunteer at a place that you enjoy, something that's a good cause for you, like the animal shelter or the local Boys and Girls Club. Go have lunch or coffee with a friend. Ask a loved one to check in on you regularly. Maybe just FaceTime or drop by and visit someone that you haven't seen in a while. Go with a friend to the movies or just to invite someone over to watch a movie. Call your friend or email a friend, FaceTime a friend. Go for a walk. Just invite a friend or a family member just to go for a walk with you. Maybe schedule a weekly dinner date with someone. Or try to meet new people by taking a class or joining a club. Or you can confide in a clergy member, a teacher, or a coach. So these are just a couple of examples of how you can connect with others. Let's see. And our next stress management technique is eating a healthy diet. So what we eat is very important because a lot of the foods that we are putting into our bodies are filled with processed and carbs and sugary snacks. So if you're eating a diet full of processed and convenience foods, refined carbs, and sugary snacks, this can actually worsen your stress. So what is necessary is a diet that is rich in fruits and vegetables, high quality protein, and omega-3 fatty acids. This can help you better cope with life's ups and downs. So yes, the food that you eat, it can improve or it can worsen your mood, and it can affect your ability to cope with life's stressors. So be aware of what you're putting into your body because it can affect how you're feeling. So try to stay away from all those carbs and the sugars and reach for a piece of fruit instead and those vegetables that are better for you. And then we also need to learn to get our rest. Part of stress management is taking care of ourselves, okay? So this means learning how to rest. And that means being able to establish a bedtime routine. Yes, even in the summer. Sometimes you're like, but it's the summer, I can stay up late. Well, it's still important to have a healthy bedtime routine. So try to go to bed at a decent time, maybe 11, the latest, and wake up at a good time as well. So what is the recommended amount of sleep? It's about 6 to 8 hours. The older we get, the less time we need, but for adolescents, it's about 8 hours, 9 hours. For adults, you're good with 6, 7 hours. So try to establish a healthy bedtime routine. Stay away from electronics at night. They actually keep you awake because of the blue light. So if you have trouble sleeping, scrolling through your phone is not going to help. So stay away from the phone. If you want, have a light snack or a bedtime tea. Not anything with caffeine though, that'll keep you awake. And you might want to take a warm bath, listen to some relaxing music, stretch, breathe, and relax. Maybe read a book and write down in your to-do list or your gratitude journal right before bed. Make sure your bedroom is nice and cool and dark so that you can be comfortable when you are getting ready for bed. So rest is extremely important. If you're not rested, you're going to continue to feel stressed. And that's one of our last techniques for stress management. But I do have a few other helpful tips just to kind of throw out there. Some other things you can practice or think about for stress reduction include the 4 A's. So what are the 4 A's? The 4 A's are avoid, alter, adapt, and accept. So we can learn to avoid unnecessary stress. That means don't take on more than you can handle, okay? By avoiding things that you don't need to be doing. So that's avoid. Alter, we can alter the situation if possible. So if you can make changes in your situation to make it work better for you, then practice altering that situation. Sometimes though, you can't control things. You can't change things because they are out of your control. So we have to learn to accept the things you cannot change. So that's our 3rd A. And our 4th A is adapt. So when you cannot change things, we must adapt to the situation. We have to be flexible. We cannot be rigid in our views. We have to learn to adapt and to be flexible so that we can go with the flow, right? So those are the 4 A's. Avoid, alter, accept, and adapt. So just be careful with your perceptions and your expectations. When we have perfectionistic expectations, things don't always turn out the way we want them to because perfection isn't attainable. So we have to change our expectations to be more realistic. This will reduce stress. Do not overcommit yourself. Sometimes it's hard for us to say no, right? We want to help everyone. We want to be available to everyone that needs us. And so it's difficult to say no. But when you are trying to be there for everybody, it wears you out. And so then it causes more stress on you. So it's okay to say no. It's okay if you're not able to be there for everybody around you. Try to take care of you first. Prioritize your tasks. What's most important? Try to delegate responsibility to others. Don't think that it has to be you who does everything. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, hey, can you do this for me? Can you help me out with this task? You don't have to do it all. Sometimes people think, well, if I don't do it, it's not done right. And that's something we have to let go of, that view. Other people can help. Other people are there for you. Try to set realistic and reasonable goals. If you are like me and you have to-do lists, that's great. But don't put 10 tasks on your to-do list if you know you're not going to do all 10. Maybe start with 5 or 3. Don't set yourself up for failure. Again, this will only lead to more stress. So try to be realistic in the goals that you set. Also set boundaries. Boundaries are important because you don't want people to take advantage of you. That can also be very overwhelming. And that comes in with learning to say no. Do not compromise your values or your beliefs. Stick to your values, stick to what you believe in. Don't let other people tell you otherwise. And don't forget to schedule me time. It's important that you have time for you, okay? So when you learn to manage your stress, you're going to see the benefits. Your physical health will get better. You'll have more energy and more stamina. Your emotions will stabilize. You will have a more positive attitude. You will feel hopeful and you will feel happier. You will also be able to focus better, and you'll be able to learn and to achieve. So these are some stress management techniques. I hope that they're helpful for you and that you're able to implement them in your daily life. Don't forget, you could always find some free apps. Those of you who have phones, and I think everybody has phones, there are some really good apps out there that you can use to help you with stress management. The mindfulness app, Calm, and Omvana. Those are some apps that you can find online or the App Store. And this concludes my stress management presentation for today. I hope you found it to be helpful. Thank you.